By lawyers for actor Justin Baldoni showed unedited footage from the filming of
One thing you should know about me is I will admit and apologize when I fail.
My nose is so big.
I was hoping that we could address this. It's not too late.
Justin, maybe you need to stop talking about my wife's weight.
What is your problem, Ryan?
My money is on Blake Lively being wrong.
Teaching Justin how to pull you in.
Where
I
have you
love
seen
this.
I felt good in the moment, and for her to use this vulnerable moment against me.
You literally know nothing about women.
God.
Just kidding.
Get ready, because what we've uncovered will blow your mind. Exclusive secret text messages and voice memos that weren't even part of the lawsuit, exposing shocking details about Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni's relationship. Plus, we have behind-the-scenes footage from the movie set, where Blake's actions completely contradict her legal complaint. And all of this is being held for the trial, so Blake Lively might just be turning into Amber Heard 2.0, and if you think that's an exaggeration, just wait until you see what's coming next.
Time progressed in this film. She decided that she wanted to be a producer. She started to make edits. She wanted to be part of the editing team. There were people hired, like human beings actually hired to do the editing job, who had done work as editors.
What makes this drama even juicier is how Blake Lively tried to leverage her superstar connections, Taylor Swift and Ryan Reynolds, to pressure Justin Baldoni and Sony Pictures, essentially saying, "Give me this film or lose the support of my massive fan base." And we're not just talking about a few followers. This means millions of fans plus the influence of her A-list friends. But here's the kicker: her plan completely backfired. And trust me, I've got all the details on how things took a very unexpected turn for Blake.
Is just not making any sense. After working for this film for almost 2 years, together collaborating, text messages, voice memos, getting along, joking, we never had an issue before the break. And then after the break, suddenly there's this weird thing going on with all these demands. I met them at their place, and Ryan blows up on me, and then Taylor's looking at me like I'm some
Justin Baldoni has been defending himself against all the drama Blake Lively started, and trust me, you'll want to grab some popcorn, because there's way more to this story than what's been revealed so far. First off, this whole harassment drama just doesn't add up. Blake and Justin worked side by side on this film for almost 2 years, collaborating, laughing, and getting along without a single issue. Then, out of nowhere, after a brief break, things took a wild turn. Blake suddenly started making demands. Ryan Reynolds exploded on Justin, and Taylor Swift looked at him like he had just committed a crime. But here's the part that doesn't make sense. Even after all of that, Justin insists they still kept things professional and respectful. They spent hours in the editing room together, going over scenes, and Blake even wanted to be part of the editing process. Then, with just one small disagreement, everything changed. Justin didn't even completely refuse her request. He simply asked Blake to wait until he had something put together so she could provide feedback later. But that was enough to set everything off. The next thing he knew, he was locked out of his own film. Sony handed complete control to Blake, and suddenly, Ryan and Taylor were promoting it as if it had been hers from the start. Meanwhile, Justin, who had spent 5 years developing the project, was treated like an outsider at his own movie premiere. Let's not forget Colleen Hoover, the author of the book the movie was based on. She was the one who personally chose Justin for the project. They were friends, she helped with the script, and they even promoted the movie together after the alleged harassment took place. But the moment Blake's lawsuit surfaced, Colleen immediately switched sides, posting on Instagram that she fully supported Blake, leaving Justin completely blindsided. So, what really happened here? Was this all planned from the start, or did Blake flip the script when things didn't go her way? Before we dive deeper into this unfolding controversy, now back to the drama. If you've been keeping up, you'd know that Justin constantly praised Blake in interviews, calling her brilliant, talented, and deeply involved in the movie. He gave her full credit for making the film better, especially when it came to intimacy scenes, even saying she had a clear vision for how things should look. But now, with everything happening, it seems like his words are being twisted against him. What was once seen as a collaborative and professional partnership is now being painted as something entirely different. So, the question remains, was Blake setting this up all along, or did something change that led her to take such drastic action? One thing is for sure, this is far from over, and the truth is bound to come out sooner or later.
with us, so I'm hoping to see you back in the double duty role.
I think there are better people for that one.
Justin.
I think Blake Lively's ready to direct. That's what I think.
After she locked him out, took full control, and re-edited everything, she never publicly said a single positive word about him, despite private texts revealing otherwise in those messages. She thanked him, called him talented, and expressed gratitude for his collaboration. Just when it seemed the drama couldn't get any messier, Blake Lively made a shocking accusation, claiming that Justin Baldoni had been inappropriate during their intimate scenes. But hold on, let's take a moment to revisit the original footage. The same scene Blake referenced in her lawsuit where she alleged the incident occurred. When the lawsuit first emerged, no one really knew what happened behind the scenes. All we had were Blake's accusations against Justin, no context, no evidence. Just her word, that is, until Justin's legal team released the unedited video. And that's when everything changed.
I feel so nosy.
I know. And my nose is so big.
Yes, I was hoping that we could address this. It's not too late. Just gotta shut down. We gotta call an insurance month and just deal with that.
Yeah.
And then,
As you can see, Blake wasn't just acting in these scenes, she was deeply involved in directing them. In fact, at times, she even took on the role of an intimacy coordinator, making key decisions about how the moments should unfold. Yet in her lawsuit, she later claimed that Justin crossed the line by improvising and kissing her too much. But here's the twist. Before they took a break from filming, they only had two kissing scenes. Nothing more, no impromptu moments, just two scripted scenes. Then, after the break, things suddenly changed. Blake returned with a list of new demands and refused to meet with the actual intimacy coordinator before filming resumed, which made her allegations even more suspicious. It almost seemed like she was rewriting history to push Justin out of the picture. But this isn't just about Blake. There's another key player in the drama, Colleen Hoover. The same Colleen Hoover who had once praised Justin's script and called it perfect. However, when Blake took control, Colleen switched sides, helping her re-edit the movie and cut Justin out entirely. And now, let's talk about Taylor Swift's unexpected involvement. When Justin was casting the actress for young Lily, he was the one who discovered her and pushed for her to get the role. But guess who had the final say? Not Justin, it was Blake and Taylor. Even the actress herself admitted that Taylor Swift gave the final stamp of approval, despite Justin being the one who initially found her. His name was never mentioned in any of the interviews. It was as though he had been erased from his own project.
I mean, this is all pretty much Blake's styling. She's been my stylist. And then these are her shoes. Blake's shoes. So, literally all Blake. Yep. I feel so lucky. She is an angel. She is a guiding light. She's a force. She is everything you'd want as a mentor and as somebody to look up to. It's a dream.
Oh, and if you think Blake was done stirring the pot, think again. She and Ryan Reynolds have been subtly throwing shade at Justin for a while now, trolling him in ways most people wouldn't even notice. When you start to piece everything together, it all begins to make sense. So let's rewind to the start and break down exactly what went down behind the scenes. Once you see the full picture, you'll realize this drama runs much deeper than anyone expected. It turns out Ryan Reynolds himself reportedly contributed to the script, tweaking scenes alongside Blake. When asked about it, one of the cast members confirmed that Ryan had written multiple scenes and made significant suggestions, something almost no other actor would be allowed to do. But because Blake was involved, everything shifted from the beginning. Blake and Ryan were constantly rewriting lines, changing the script daily, which created tension behind the scenes. Blake knew exactly how to play the situation to her advantage. She lavished Justin with praise, telling him he was one of the best directors she'd ever worked with. She claimed that other directors had always shut her down and never let her contribute creatively. Justin, wanting to give her a fair opportunity, allowed her to rewrite a pivotal rooftop scene.
Usually to Blake for his response to her creative changes to the film's pivotal rooftop scene.
Will you please get down from there?
I'm good, thanks.
Blake made sure to mention that Ryan Reynolds and Taylor Swift loved her version of the scene and couldn't wait to see Justin's reaction, but it didn't stop there. She even invited Justin to her penthouse where Ryan and Taylor hyped up her writing, convincing Justin that it had to stay in the film. Afterward, Justin texted her, praising her talent and telling her that he genuinely liked what she had done. He even reassured her that he'd try to incorporate some of her ideas into the final cut. In one of their messages, Blake went as far as comparing herself to Cersei from Game of Thrones making it clear that she had powerful friends in her corner, including Ryan Reynolds and Taylor Swift, who she claimed were like dragons on her side. She wasn't just name-dropping for fun. Blake was signaling that she had serious influence. not just in the film industry but in the music world too. But Blake's influence didn't end with just one scene rewrite. She pushed for changes across the entire script. Justin found himself trying to keep the peace, letting her make changes every day in an effort to keep things running smoothly. But as time passed, the revisions became more frequent and Blake began questioning how every single scene was being directed.
To do with, the brilliance of Blake Lively. I don't think people realize how involved she was in this movie. She was extremely involved, and she really made the film better. And especially when it came to intimacy and all of that, like, she had a very clear vision, and she was telling me what she thought would work and what she thought would.
Before filming even began, another issue emerged, allegedly. Justin made a comment about Blake's weight, which led to accusations of fat shaming. In reality, Justin had simply asked her trainer about her weight because there was a scene in which he needed to lift her, and with his back problems, he wanted to ensure it was safe for her. Unfortunately, that conversation wasn't kept private and Blake became upset. She told Ryan, who confronted Justin at their penthouse. Ryan angrily accused Justin of body shaming Blake. Blake didn't stop there. She reportedly threatened to quit the project unless Justin agreed to work on her terms. She made it clear that if he didn't comply, she'd go public with accusations of fat shaming. Justin found himself in a difficult position with no way out without risking damage to his reputation. Blake managed to manipulate Ryan into siding with her against Justin over an issue that never even occurred. She got Ryan so worked up that he confronted Justin. And despite Justin not doing anything wrong, he still apologized. Tension remained, but the production continued. Justin, trying to keep the peace, worked with Blake, praising her as usual. However, the underlying issues weren't resolved. Blake, who had claimed that Justin had harassed her during the first month of filming, was still in regular contact with him. In fact, she kept asking to see daily footage of the film. If she truly felt harassed, it was strange that she'd still want to stay involved and see what was being filmed. In her messages, she even praised the footage, asking for more. In one of her texts, she wrote, "Hey Justin, not trying to bug you, but that playlist you sent me was good, just checking in." Again about possibly seeing the dailies. She also mentioned how much Ryan and Taylor loved the clips, hinting that she had gained support from two major players and was positioning herself like she was co-directing the film. This created more tension when Justin, attempting to maintain boundaries and keep the production on track, refused to give her full access to the daily footage. Blake took this poorly and went straight to Ryan and her lawyers, complaining once again. Eventually, Blake returned with a list of demands that Justin had to meet if she was going to finish the film. These weren't small requests, they were power moves that put the entire production at risk. By stalling the process, Blake was jeopardizing the jobs of hundreds of people and threatening Justin's career. Even Sony, the distributor of the film, couldn't understand why Blake was making these demands. It was becoming clear that Blake wasn't just an actress on set. She was starting to pull the strings behind the scenes, and Justin was stuck in a tough situation. Things took another twist when leaked footage from the film contradicted Blake's claims in her lawsuit that Justin had harassed her. In her lawsuit, Blake accused Justin of being inappropriate by allegedly kissing her neck, sniffing her, and telling her she smelled good. But when you watch the raw footage, it's clear that the entire scene had been taken out of context.
I know. And my nose is so big.
Yes, I was hoping that we could address this. It's not too late. Just gotta shut down. We gotta call an insurance month and just deal with that.
Before the audio was leaked, Blake had no idea that the scene had been recorded, and she initially claimed that Justin's actions were harassment. However, the reality was far different. Both Justin and Blake were in character throughout the entire scene. In fact, it was Blake who had suggested that they speak to each other on camera to make the moment appear more romantic. When viewed in slow motion, it's clear that the scene was part of the film's performance, and the two actors were just joking around, not engaging in any inappropriate behavior. Their characters were pretending to be romantic, but there was nothing uncomfortable or unusual about it. In the footage, you can hear them laughing and chatting casually, even joking about the script and their characters, which shows it wasn't a serious moment, just a piece of acting. At no point was there any indication of harassment or inappropriate behavior from Justin. He was simply performing his role as a romantic lead. For example, in one part of the scene, they talk about their characters having these slow-motion moments where they stare at each other, and how these effects are used to make the scene more dramatic. Justin even compliments Blake, saying that her relationship with Ryan is cute and that he's romantic with his own wife behavior. That hardly resembles harassment. Blake had no issue with the scene. even suggesting changes to make it more romantic, and when the director yelled cut, everything stopped immediately. There was no lingering or inappropriate conduct. It was just a scene done in a professional manner with both actors working together to get the best shot. Blake even took control of the scene at one point, asking for additional dialogue to enhance the romantic effect. The original version had no talking, just Justin's character being romantic. But Blake wanted to add some lines, which they filmed into versions, one with dialogue and one without. Throughout all of this, when they spoke as themselves, Justin never crossed any lines. He was always respectful, even joking about how cute Blake and Ryan's relationship was. Despite this, Blake went on to accuse Justin of harassment and body shaming, and somehow manipulated Ryan into believing Justin was in the wrong. This is especially odd considering that Ryan and Justin had never worked together before. It seems that Blake was able to convince Ryan to believe her version of events, feeding him information that would shape his perspective of Justin. This led to an awkward moment at the end of the film when Blake thanked Ryan for playing Nice Pool, a character based on the Deadpool persona. But here's the curious part. Ryan had never worked with Justin before, so why would he base a character on someone he didn't know? It seems evident that Blake played a significant role in shaping how Ryan viewed Justin and, by extension, influenced the writing of the Nice Pool character. The jokes and references to Justin's real-life issues, like his back problems, seemed like deliberate digs. One instance in particular, where Ryan jokes about having low bone density and needing to keep his face safe, felt like a direct jab at Justin's real-life back issues, which Blake had previously used to accuse him of body shaming her. This context makes Blake's accusations of harassment fall apart. It's clear that she manipulated the situation, playing both Ryan and Justin against each other. As for Justin, it's obvious that he was nothing but professional throughout the filming process. He even tried to accommodate Blake's unreasonable demands, all while maintaining his integrity. Justin is also well known for his advocacy for women and his kindness off camera, regularly discussing these topics on his podcast. It's hard to reconcile this with Blake's depiction of him as a creep in her lawsuit. Interestingly, there's talk that Justin already has the rights to the sequel. But if Blake manages to sway things in her favor, she might be able to direct the next film. This could be part of a larger strategy to take control of the project, especially with her network of allies, including her husband Ryan and Taylor Swift, who both support her. The drama took an even more complicated turn when Brendan, who plays Atlas in the film, posted on Instagram supporting Blake's lawsuit. He was vocal in defending her, which raises the question, why would he choose her side over Justin's? Especially after Justin helped him land the role in the first place? Justin, for his part, has maintained that he has been unfairly targeted. He pointed to a vulnerable moment on set when Blake comforted him, as he dealt with pressure from Sony over a wardrobe controversy. To have that moment of respect used against him in a lawsuit felt like a betrayal, especially considering he's always worked to foster a respectful, collaborative environment on set. So, was this a calculated move to target Justin? Or are these just tensions between colleagues finally boiling over? Either way, with legal battles still unfolding, this story is far from over as more details emerge. It's clear that there's a lot more to come. What do you think about all of this? Drop a comment below, and while you're at it, don't forget to like, subscribe, and check out our other videos for more juicy updates like this one.